Are you happy in your business? Now, I have had my share of emotional ups and downs in my 20 years of being a solo entrepreneur coach. And the patterns I've seen in myself and in my clients is that those downs are usually when I was personally feeling unfulfilled. Sometimes it was because a launch that flopped, and sometimes it was just life and had nothing to do with business. But those ups, oh boy, those are the times when I was feeling my most authentic and completely aligned to my purpose, or when I just felt like I was rocking that work-life balance. I would be thinking I could do this all day long and never feel tired. One of my loves is sharing what works for me and what has been working for my clients to achieve this very feeling, full of passion, happiness, peace, and freedom. So I decided to create a private podcast for coaches. Maybe you just want to develop better communication skills that boosts engagement, leads to better results, and makes you feel like you're actually making a difference in the lives of the people you serve. Then you're invited too. We talk about this and more in the UBU private podcast for coaches. Whether you're a mentor, a parent, or run a client-focused business, coaching skills benefit everyone and anyone who wants to communicate in a way that builds relationships. Fall in love with your life and business again. Click the link in the show notes for your invitation to join us right now. Then come back and enjoy this episode. Hey, difference maker. Welcome back to the Unbox Your Personality podcast. We are starting a brand new bite-sized deep dive mini-series. This time we're going to be talking about chakras and the personality traits that are associated when your chakras are not in flow. So last week in our episode, we talked about the chakras and the different personality profiles that Amy looks for when she is working with her clients. If you didn't catch that episode, go check out episode 7 and 8. So what I like to do in these bite-sized deep dives is talk about what I like about her methods and how it compares to the Enneagram. In this deep dive, I'm going to go into my experience of actually working with her and what my session was like. So stick around. It's time to stop comparing yourself to others and plug in to what is uniquely you. Welcome to Unbox Your Personality, the podcast for coaches, creatives, and educators like you who understand that your happiness makes you more effective in what you do, bringing out the best in others. I'm Jen P. Higgins, personality strategist and Enneagram fluff remover. Get laser focused on who you are and who you aren't, so you're free to make the impact you were born to make. And have fun doing it. Your personality is your business. So let's get down to business. I'm actually really excited to talk about my session with Amy because it was not exactly what I was expecting. I'm not even sure I knew what I was expecting. But after we met for her podcast interviews, I sat down with Amy over Zoom and I had a crystal healing session with her. Now, I am into alternative healing methods. I'm a huge fan of homeopathy. If you've been following me for any length of time, you know that I almost became a homeopath about 4 years ago and decided to become certified in the Enneagram instead. That's a whole other story. So it wasn't a very long session. I want to say it was about 30 minutes, and we did chit-chat a little bit afterward, but the bulk of the session was about half an hour. And she helped me get into a relaxed meditative state. I actually sat on the floor like in an L sit and pulled my laptop down onto the floor with me. And through a guided meditation, she helped me get in a relaxed state so that she could work with my energy. I love Amy's voice. It's very relaxing. But what surprised me was then she got quiet. And she did want the camera on me so that she could both see my body language and feel my energy through that visual component. And I'll tell you, at first, I had a hard time relaxing just because it was so new and it was so different. And I kind of wanted to peek a little bit to kind of see what is she doing? Because,
because her camera was on too. And I was curious and I wanted to see what she was doing. And she had her crystals out and she had her chakra board out. And it was so fascinating. I wanted to observe what she was doing, but I couldn't observe and participate at the same time. So I surrendered to that and I allowed myself to relax. And then I just started paying attention to my body. What was I feeling in my body? If you've done any sort of meditation, you kind of understand this mindfulness exercise. So I started going through the different parts of my body. I actually started with my head, surprise, surprise, because I'm a head type. I was always type. So I started with my head and went down. And I realize now that chakras start at your root. That's your first chakra and they go up. So I probably should have started at the root. But that's what I did. I started with my head and I started going down and just paying attention to different parts of my body and what I was feeling. And it was really, really amazing. There was one point where I did feel this whoosh. It was just a big whoosh. And she asked me later, what were some of the things that were going through my head and these feelings. And she really helped me pinpoint which chakras was blocked, which chakra that was not aligned, not necessarily blocked, but not aligned. And so we had a nice discussion over that. And of course, we ran out of time and asked her if I could have a second session with her just to sit and ask her questions. It was almost like another interview. I wonder if I recorded it. Maybe it could be another podcast episode. But it was super interesting. And that's what I'm going to share in the next Bite-sized Deep Dive.
Thank you for listening, subscribing, and reviewing the Unbox Your Personality podcast. To learn more about yourself, go to powercoachjen.com. Find out how you are different so you can make your difference.